What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So as you guys can see, I am in Las Vegas, or you might not be able to see I'm in Las Vegas. You see I'm in a hotel, but I am in Las Vegas. And last video that I posted, I was on my way here. And so today I want to talk a little bit about Speaker McCarthy, and we have to talk about the debt ceiling and how that can impact Social Security. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit that little bell notification, and then click all. By clicking all, you'll get notified anytime we post a video. We do daily videos here, so by clicking the bell notification and clicking all, you should be getting updated every day. And please remember to follow me on Twitter at the TEC Show Live. I post videos over there, as well as I will tweet and retweet and all that good stuff. So make sure you follow me and I will follow you back. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about what's going on with Speaker McCarthy, talking about this debt ceiling. And we've been talking about this for the last several months. And now we're getting closer to the time where something needs to happen. So back 3 months ago, we heard talk about the debt ceiling, need to raise the debt ceiling. And what Speaker McCarthy wanted to do is he wanted to tie it to a new budget, a budget for 2024. So President Biden has already put forward his budget for 2024. The Speaker has not put forward a budget yet. So that's what we're waiting on. And sometime this week, the Speaker says that he will have the budget ready, so we'll be able to see exactly where these cuts are going to come from. And so we're talking about two separate things. And I think it's very important for us to realize we're talking about two separate things. We're talking about raising the debt ceiling, which means that we need to pay our bills. So all of this, the spending that we've done over the last few years, we need to pay those bills. We need to raise that debt ceiling in order to make those payments. And we're also talking about the budget for 2024. And that's what Speaker McCarthy's focused on. He's focused on, look, we need to have a budget for 2024, or a budget from this point on is really what he's saying. He's not even saying just for 2024. We need to cut spending is basically what he's saying. And so what he's saying is we need to have a plan to cut spending before we raise the debt ceiling. And that's what his focus is. When they're two separate things, yes, you can have a plan for the future when it comes to making cuts, but you also need to pay your bills. And that's what we're talking about when it comes to the debt ceiling. And so what Speaker McCarthy is doing is he's using this debt ceiling debate, this debt ceiling, basically if we don't pay our bills, then obviously we'll go in default. And so he's using that as leverage in order to get cuts, the cuts that he wants. And so he's already indicated that he's not going to cut Social Security or Medicare. However, when we look at this, he can make cuts to the Social Security Administration, which in turn will be cuts to Social Security and Medicare. And let me explain to you how that would happen. And let's say he does make cuts to the Social Security Administration. So the money that goes to the Social Security Administration so they can do their job. That would mean they would have less people in the workforce. That would mean that you might see delays. So if you have any questions that need to be answered, you might see delays in that. And right now the call time is about 30 minutes. That might increase to maybe an hour that you have to wait on the phone to talk to someone. If you have a claim, if you have a disability claim, you might have to wait. Right now, the wait time's around 200 to 300 days. You might have to wait even longer than that just to find out if you qualify for disability, so SSDI. And so it's really going to be important to see what Speaker McCarthy's cuts look like, what his plan looks like for the future, because you could see some cuts in different areas that can really affect people. There's already talk that people who are low income, there's going to be some cuts when it comes to food assistance and things like that. So we already know that that's going to be in this budget that he's putting together. And so we're just going to have to see what he does with this. But I want to read this tweet because this kind of sums up exactly what he wants to do, or exactly what his plan is and who he plans to blame if this doesn't go the way that he wants it to. So let me read here. So make no mistake, the longer President Biden waits to be sensible to find agreement, the more likely it becomes that his administration will bumble into the first default in our nation's history. So basically what he is saying is he's saying that if the Biden administration doesn't move forward, when the reality is it's up to the Speaker. It's up to Congress, okay? They need to move forward. They need to raise the debt ceiling. The president doesn't raise debt ceilings. He'll sign off on it, but he's not raising the debt ceiling. When it comes to a budget, the budget's going to have to come through Congress. It doesn't come through the president. And so by McCarthy saying this, he's just pretty much, he's trying to push the blame. So if we do see a default, he's trying to push that blame onto the president, when the reality is they have the power. Congress has the power to move forward with a budget, which we will see what Speaker McCarthy has in plans for a budget. as well as move forward with raising the debt ceiling. They have to do both of those things. They carry the purse, they have the money. And so the president can be involved, but Congress has to move this stuff forward. It's not up to the president in order to get these things done. And so it's going to be up to Congress. And so you already see Speaker McCarthy's strategy. He's going to blame the president. However, this is going to fall on Congress. And we'll have to see how the American people see this, but it will fall on Congress. If they don't move forward with raising the debt ceiling, we're going to default. That means our economy is going to tank. If our economy tanks, that's going to affect everyone. If you're receiving Social Security right now, that will affect you. Why? Because you're going to have less people in the workforce. And if you have less people in the workforce, that means that the Social Security Administration is collecting less when it comes to the payroll tax, which means you have to draw more from the trust fund. And if you draw more from the trust fund, you will deplete the trust fund much earlier. Right now, they're talking about 10 years it'll be depleted. We could see it depleted in 5 years if we drop into a deep recession. And so that's the fear. So we don't want to mess with the economy right now. We don't want the economy to really tank. And if we're looking at a situation where we have Speaker McCarthy saying, look, it's up to the president, and then the president saying, look, we're not going to do anything. We're not going to move forward with anything until you actually raise the debt ceiling, then we can negotiate. We can talk about cuts in the future, but we need to pay our bills. If we don't pay our bills, that's where we're going to default. So you have both sides saying different things, and the reality, we have to know the reality, Congress has to move forward with both of these things. It can't come through the president. So I want to make sure that that's clear, because when it comes down to it, I'm not trying to stick up for President Biden, but I'm just telling you guys exactly the way that it works. Even if President Biden were to come on board and say, look, yes, I want to move forward and we should make these cuts, and I agree with Speaker McCarthy, they still need to vote on it in the House and in the Senate, pass it in both the House and the Senate, and then send it to the president. So we still have steps to go. It has to go through Congress before it gets to the president anyway. So I just wanted to put this out here just so you guys know what's going on when it comes to this debt ceiling. You're going to hear this talk in the next couple of months. You're going to hear this over and over again. They're going to be talking about the debt ceiling. They're probably going to wait until the 11th hour, which is not good, because you wait until the last minute. That means that our economy is going to be basically unstable until they figure out what they're going to do when it comes to moving forward with the debt ceiling. So that's what I really wanted to focus on today. I want to know what you guys think about this whole situation. Obviously, politicians, they're really playing with fire right now. And the reality is our economy right now is not very stable. And you see what the Federal Reserve is doing when it comes to raising interest rates and trying to cool off the economy. We could be in a situation where the Federal Reserve is trying to cool off the economy, and then we see the economy just completely collapse because of this debt ceiling debate. So I want to know what you guys think about this, so let me know down below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.